Hey, happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday night. It's so late. Oh my gosh. It's just been one of those days where I've been running all over the place all day. I'm trying to get more life insurance. I think I mentioned that before. I have two policies right now, and I thought I wish I could just get one larger one and then just do away with those two. Well, when you get to be my age, you want to get life insurance, they have a lot of questions for you. They want to know your whole life story and everything else. So I went with this one company and they said, well, we have to do a health exam. We're going to have a nurse come out to your house and do a health exam. I said, okay, that's fine. So they do a blood and urine sample. They're going to check your cholesterol and God knows what else. I have no idea what the urine sample is for. I don't know if they're looking for drugs or unicorns. I don't know what the hell they're looking for. That's the first time I've had to do a urine sample in a while. It was very strange. But they measure your height, your weight, your blood pressure. She said this company actually requires her to take the person's blood pressure 3 times in immediately, like boom, boom, boom. One on this arm and one on this arm. And then she said, and then I have to do a third blood pressure check. I said, I don't have 3 arms. She said, I know, but they want me to do this arm again as soon as I get done with this one. So she had to take my blood pressure 3 times, and it was the same, all three. Like she said, yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know why they require this, but I have to take your blood pressure 3 times, not at 3 different points during the day. No, immediately go here, here, and then back to here, and write them all and put them all in there. And then this medical exam took an hour and a half. She was at my house for an hour and a half today. And we were working the entire time. It's not like we were just chatting. She asked me probably 500 questions about my health. Basically, if you want to get life insurance, they want to know pretty much, have you ever been to the doctor? Have you ever taken a prescription medication for anything? Have you ever thought of doing anything? What about your parents? They also wanted to know a lot of information about my mom and my dad and my brother. We need to know all about their histories and what their life has been like. Are they still living? Have they had this? Have they had that? Lots of questions about my parents. And so I answered all of that. And then she had to go through this long list of disorders and diseases and have you ever had any of these things? And she's just going through, and I have to answer for all of these things. And my God, it took forever. The only comedic relief was Boop because she just did not know what to make of this nurse. She came into the living room. I guess she didn't hear the lady come in. She came into the living room and saw this lady and was like, she looked at the lady and then she looked at me like, who the hell is that? Why did you let this stranger in the house? What is the meaning of this? And then she started sniffing her bag, and the lady said, yeah, I have 3 dogs. She might be smelling my dogs. Yeah. So Boop is sniffing her bag. Then she got on the scale, and we weighed the cat because she just activated the damn scale. And she weighs just over 10 pounds. And then she was wandering around. Then she started playing under the couch and trying to get us under the couch. And finally she calmed down after a while, and she got in a chair nearby, and she kind of dozed off. But if the lady made a sound or anything, she would look up like, I'm watching you. And she would give the lady the stink eye, like, I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you're here, but I got my eye on you. And then she'd doze back off. And like if the lady made a noise or something, I'm still watching you. You better not do anything. And then she'd just go back to sleep. It was pretty funny. Evie came into the room once and was like, screw this, I don't know what's going on in here, and she just left. Pumpkin never came down, but Pumpkin never does. She vanishes. If anybody comes over that she doesn't know, she just disappears. You won't see her anymore. She does not like strangers at all. She's not very sociable. No, she just went up into my room and hid under the bed because she doesn't like strangers. So I went through and answered all the questions. She had to take 2 vials of blood, and she was really good with, sticking the thing in there. She's very good, so that was good. I have a hypothyroidism, so I have to get my blood checked once a year for my thyroid levels. And so I know a good phlebotomy person, can you get the vein? Because my veins, I'm lucky I have very good veins. She said, you have very nice veins. I said, well, thank you. I have been told that by other people drawing my blood, that you have really good veins. They're very cooperative. She said, I have mushy veins. They're like overcooked spaghetti. They're just very mushy, and it's horrible. So we talked about veins for a minute while she was drawing my blood, and I'm not bothered. I don't like needles. Usually when they draw my blood, I'll have my arm on the whatever they have it sitting on, and I'm usually, I don't freak out, but I'm gonna be looking over here while you're getting the needle out, and I don't want to see you stick it in my arm. I'm gonna be looking over here. I'm fine with it after you get it going, but no, I'm gonna be looking over here while you do that. I don't freak out. I don't want to see that. I'm gonna be looking away. So, yeah, but it was fine. My arm's a little sore. I have a tiny bruise, but other than that, I'm good. So now I just have to wait and hear the results of all that. And because I was flabbergasted. She's going through all these things, like literally, have you been to an urgent care within the last 5 years for any reason? Have you been to a hospital or emergency room in the last 5 years for any reason? And if so, then you have to explain in detail why you were there. And like medical history of my parents, and some of it was stuff like, how would I know that? I have no idea, So, and my brother too, like, I don't know what his medical history is. Are they going to verify this shit? I mean, they didn't ask for my parents or my brother's names. I don't know how they would verify any of it. But I was honest. I did tell him, my dad had a heart attack when he was like my age. He had, well, the year prior, a year or two prior, he had a mild cardiac event of some sort. And then he had a full-blown heart attack when he was like 48. Later, though, the Navy said that his exposure to Agent Orange when he was in Vietnam may have had something to do with his heart problems. There's no way to know for sure, but he gets the disability thing from the Navy every month. They consider him like a certain percentage disabled because of his Agent Orange exposure in Vietnam, because he was over there for 7 months and was definitely exposed to Agent Orange more than once. And they said that could have had something to do with his heart problems. I mentioned that to the lady, but she said, yeah, there's not really anywhere to put that in here. They just want to know if he's had heart trouble or not. And but he's still alive. I said, he's still alive. She did ask if they were still living. I said, they're both still living. And he's had no more problems since then. That was it, which amazed his doctor, because his doctor said, yeah, after, that was a pretty serious heart attack, and you're going to continue to have problems the rest of your life, and it will probably shorten your life. Well, he's going to be 83 this summer, so he's doing pretty well. So anyway, so I went through all these questions, and I'm just flabbergasted, and I just asked her, quite frankly, I said, who can get insurance? I mean, with all of these questions, they're wanting to know. I mean, you would have to just about be like a 20-year-old Olympic athlete who has never had anything ever go wrong with you. Like, you were just like a perfect specimen of a human being. And even then, they'd probably find a reason to either not give you insurance or charge you a whole lot for it. And the lady said, what's really sad is I can't get the insurance you're applying for. They wouldn't touch me with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, she said, with the health problems I have, I can't get life insurance anywhere. And so that sucks. It's hard to get. It's really hard to get. And my advice would be, if you're younger, and I know it's not something you want to think about, but especially if you have people dependent on you, if you have kids or somebody that depends on your income, I would definitely look into getting some life insurance. I mean, it might not be, I never thought about it when I was in my 20s or even my 30s. I had life insurance through my employer, but it wasn't a lot. It was just like a little bit. But the only reason I had it was because it was just offered, and I think I paid like $1 a month for it or something, so I'm like, sure, whatever. But it's much easier to get, and it is much cheaper to get when you're younger. Don't do like me and wait until you're in your 40s to try to get it, because even then it starts to get much more expensive, and it's a hell of a lot harder to get. So my advice would be, yeah, because that medical exam was nuts. I have had physicals that didn't take that long. I don't think I've ever had a physical that took an hour and a half. My God. I have had like whole body checkups that didn't take an hour and a half. So, yeah, so I had to answer lots and lots of questions and sign lots and lots of forms and releases and statements and this and that and the other. And oh my God, I'm just trying, like, I don't know if they think I'm up to something. Like, no, I'm not. I have these two separate policies. I just wanted to get one that's a little bit bigger than what I already have and do away with those. I'm not up to anything. I'm not doing it because I found out like I'm dying or anything like that. I just thought it would be a good idea. But it's kind of like the whole Google thing. Like, I've done everything I can at this point. It's up to whoever to decide what they're going to do. I'm going to try not to stress about it. It'll work out however it works out. Either I'll get it or I won't. Either they will give me, they'll approve me and my premiums won't be crazy, or they'll say, your premiums are going to be way high, and I'm going to say, well, never mind then. Or they'll just reject it outright. I do not know. I do not know what's going to happen. So I just have to wait and see what they say. And still don't know anything. Well, I don't want to go into details at this point. I do know what happened to my ad revenue. It's still way low. It's still about half of what it was less than a month ago. Google is accusing me of doing something that I didn't do, and I don't have a way to prove I didn't do it. I did file the appeal, but they said it takes 5 to 7 business days to get to respond to it. So maybe I'll hear something next week. I don't know. It's stressing me out. It's like all I can think about is like, I don't get this. I didn't do it. I can understand if I actually did something. I didn't do anything. I have never done anything, shady or weird with my channel, but they're saying that I did, and that's why that's why this has happened. It's not because of inflation or what. No, here's why we did it. Because we believe you did this. I didn't do that. Why do you think I did that? What the hell? So anyway, I did file an appeal with Google AdSense, and now I just have to wait for them to get back to me one way or the other. So it's like the whole insurance thing. Like, I've done everything I can. I've done everything I can do. Now I just have to wait for them to tell me how they feel about it. Yes or no, good, bad. There's literally nothing more I can do. I did an hour-long chat the other day, Monday, with a Google person. I still think it was a bot. And then I did the appeal form with Google AdSense. That's all you can really do. You can't really do anything else. You can't speed it up. You can't, there's just nothing else you can do. So now all I can do is wait and try not to worry about it. So anyway, I looked around some more at some full-time jobs. There's this one place I really want to talk to, and I was thinking about it tonight, and I have a business card of somebody there, and but my instinct says wait a week. If a week from now, whether you hear anything from Google or not, if nothing changes with your ad revenue and it stays like it is, go ahead and contact the person at this company, the business card. Go ahead and don't do it yet. Give it a week and then call. Because I've been looking around online. I haven't seen any jobs posted from this company, but that may not necessarily mean anything. I'm gonna call this person and talk to them a week from now if I don't hear good news from Google AdSense, if they don't reinstate my ad revenue back to where it was. And a couple of people in the comments were like, what are you bitching about? You'll be fine. You don't need to worry about finding a job. Well, I would just say, how could you get by with no changes if your salary was just suddenly cut in half out of nowhere? Would you be fine and not have to do anything else? I mean, maybe some people are in that position. But the good thing is I'm done with all my home improvements, so it's not like I'm going to need big chunks of money for anything anytime soon. So that is a good thing. The timing of this is good because I'm done with all that. Thank God. I'm glad I was able to do it. I got a lot done here. I replaced a lot of stuff in this house that needed to be replaced. I fixed a lot of stuff that needed to be fixed. It's a good feeling, and I'm very grateful that I could do it. And I just did it a little bit long as I could afford to pay for it without going into debt. And I got a lot done here, and I feel really good about it. So hopefully there won't be anything else anytime soon. But yeah, and in a way, it's kind of like, Google can just jerk you around. They can just do whatever they want to, and you're kind of at their mercy. I mean, what are you going to do? Sue them? You going to sue them? Can you imagine trying to sue Google? Can you imagine the legal team that you would have to deal with from Google, who has like infinite money? Yeah, I mean, in theory, yeah, you could sue them, but I mean, in real life, do you honestly think you would get anywhere? They'll just pay off the judge and you're screwed. I mean, even if you have a valid case, I just don't think you would get anywhere. But maybe I just need to get a full-time job anyway, because what's to stop them from doing this again? Even if I get good news and they go, whoops, sorry about that. Yeah, that was a mistake. Our AI goofed up and thought you were up to something and you weren't, and we fixed everything and everything's fine. What's to stop them from doing it again a month from now, 6 months from now, over and over? What's to stop this from happening again? I don't even know why it happened this time. Because like I say, I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing to cause a problem. I don't know why they're saying what they're saying. I don't know. But what's to stop them from doing it again? And I kind of miss the security of working for somebody else. I'll be honest. I do. I don't like paying $800 a month for my health insurance premium. I don't like all the expenses and shit that goes along with being self-employed. It sucks because I found out from my accountant how much I'm going to have to pay in taxes on top of what I've been paying all year. I have to pay even more. I mean, damn it. Okay. So I don't know anything at this point, but it's probably going to be one day next week before I hear anything. And hopefully I will hear something. I mean, shit, but there's nothing more I can do. I could get on a chat again with another person. I think it's actually a bot. I don't think it's actually a human that you're talking to. I don't know. And even if I did get somebody, to chat with me on there, you can't call them. You have to do like a chat, or you can send them an email. I don't know what good it would do. They would just say, well, you just need to wait because it's 5 to 7 business days, blah, blah, blah. Which when I submitted the form, it said it would be 5 to 7 business days. I was just hoping it wouldn't take that long. But it looks like it's going to take a while. Maybe not. Maybe I'll hear something tomorrow. That'd be cool. I just want to know, good or bad. Even if it's bad, I mean, just go ahead and tell me. At least then I know what to do. So, shit. Anyway. But it was a good day. I had a good day. What did I do today? I went to an exercise class. Spent an hour and a half doing the medical exam. I did some work for my day job. I actually got to talk to the paralegal who was going to be taking over for me. We had a phone call this afternoon for about a half hour and went over some details of some stuff that I do for this attorney. Like, I sent him some examples of documents I've done and emails, and we do this, that, and we were just going over like specifics of how I, the stuff I do. And he was a really nice guy. I think he'll take good care of my attorney, which I was worried about. And I told him, I said, it sounds like my attorney's going to be in good hands. That's awesome. He's super easy to work with. I mean, he is very low maintenance. He's not picky about stuff. He's not going to get mad and yell at you. He is just the most mellow person you will ever meet. He is so chilled out all the time, and it's so great. He's super easy to work for, and I'm going to miss that. I really am. So it was good to meet him. We talked by email back and forth yesterday, and then today we talked on the phone. So it was really good. And so he is all set to take over everything. He is now on all of the docketed matters, so he will get all the notifications. We're copying him on everything that we send out. So the good thing is it looks like I will be able to hand over everything to him very easily. I have the rest of this week and next week. And then the 17th will be my last day. St. Patrick's Day, I believe. That's the 17th, isn't it? 17th is going to be my last day. So it looks like it's going to be all good, and transfer everything over, and he will be ready to take over starting after the 17th. So I feel really good about it, because I didn't know who was going to be in charge of his stuff. I didn't know which paralegal would end up with this stuff. But this guy seems really like he's on the ball. He's going to be good. So I felt good about that. So that was a relief. It seems like I did something else today. What else did I do? Oh, yeah. I had to talk to the paralegal for my trust. I'm setting up a trust. And I was so proud of myself. I figured when she called, she was going to tell me, well, you forgot to send me this document. I need this document. I need this statement. Because you have to send them copies of everything related to all of your assets. Like, if you have checking account, savings account, IRA, 401k, cryptocurrency. I have cryptocurrency. I had to send stuff on that. I have some stocks. I had to send them information on that. My retirement stuff, all of that. My dad's property in Virginia, everything about that. Oh my God, so much paperwork. It was like a part-time job just gathering up all that stuff, all that documentation. So, but I did. And apparently I turned in everything. She said, yeah, I don't need anything else from you. That I have it all. We were on the phone for about a half hour. And she was going over some steps and, asking me a few more little clarifying questions about the trust. And then on Monday, we have another phone call just to kind of tidy up some loose ends. And they're going to go ahead and prepare everything. And then I will go in to sign everything, I think, like a week after that, or like the end of that week or something. I can't remember. But I will be going in to sign everything, and we'll be all done. And they can start working on the correspondence to go out to transfer everything over to my trust. And I will feel much better having that done. I really will. If something happened to me, it would make everything 1,000 times easier for everybody that has to, everybody left behind. And that's why I'm trying to get more life insurance. That's why I'm doing all of this, so that, I don't leave a mess if I get hit by a bus next week or something. Let's hope we get everything signed and done before I get hit by a bus. But I feel it makes me feel much better having that going. So yeah, I wish my dad had something like that. I kind of wonder, because I'm going to get pretty much everything when he dies, but he doesn't. I think he has a will, but it's one that he did like from some 1-800 number he saw on TV like 10 years ago. Do your will for $70 or some shit. Like, I don't really know that that's going to hold up anywhere, but he's not willing to do any more than that. So I ain't giving no lawyer no money. I work for lawyers. I know I don't like it. He doesn't like that I work for a lawyer. He really doesn't like lawyers. He's not fond of college educated people in general. It's a whole thing with his family is just very anti-education. Like, they don't like people who go to college. They just don't, which is kind of uncomfortable because I did. And that's a story for another day. We won't discuss how that went. It wasn't pretty. But he just sort of, my dad has this ability to just memory hole stuff. If there's something that he doesn't like, it just goes away. That never happened. I don't know that. And it just goes out of his head. So I think he's just memory holed the fact that I have 2 college degrees. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Not my child. Well, yeah, okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, he doesn't like. When I first got a job in a law firm in 2000, March of 2000, I got a job at a law firm. Oh, he was really just, oh, you need to quit that job. You don't need to be working for no lawyers. He was very, very unhappy about it all. They just dirty, nasty, crooked people. You can be working for them. So, but it's a good paying job and I like it and I'm not quitting the job. You don't need to be working there. He said that for years. I'm not leaving. I like my job. I like the people I work with, and it's nothing like you say it is. Oh, they're all crooked. They're really not. They're really not. It's fine. But yeah, so he's very, very, he doesn't like lawyers. And that's fine. That's fine. But he's not interested in doing any kind of trust or anything. No, he would never do that. So I don't know what kind of mess I'm going to have to untangle when he passes away. And the fact that he doesn't really have a great will means it could get kind of ugly. I hope not. Not going to go into detail on that either, but there's a potential for ugliness there. I could see that. I hope not. I hope not. But sometimes when people pass away, it gets nasty with family members and everything, and it just I've seen it in my own family with people that pass away, and oh God, it's knockdown, drag out fights over their stuff, and it's just so sad. Like, this is pathetic. I mean, I do have some relatives who did that when their parents, one parent died, and then the other one died like 10 years later, and the kids were all grown. They had 3 kids. Those 3 kids were in and out of court for years, fighting over like nothing, because their parents had like a little bit of property and a little bit of money, nothing crazy. They were in it. They probably spent more on lawyers going to court than they ever got. And they ended up at each other's throats for years over their parents' stuff. And it's like, why? I mean, my brother and I have talked about it pretty candidly. And what we decided this years ago. I said, look, I'm not trying to get into some kind of dispute over their stuff. So basically what's going to happen is my brother is going to get my mom's stuff. Like, I think they went ahead and put her house in his name. Like, my dad's house is in my name, which he did years ago because family gossip, maybe theoretically, he was married to somebody who had grown kids that were losers, and he didn't want them to benefit from his death. Like, I'm going to put my house in my name. His wife at the time still had her old house, and he said she can go live there. She doesn't need this property. She already has property that she can move right back into. And she would just sell this property and give the money to her loser kids. And I don't want them to benefit I don't want them to make a penny off of my death because they suck. Because they're in and out of jail. They don't work. They don't do anything. They're just losers. And I don't want them to get any money from me. Anyway. So last time I talked to my brother, they were talking about putting our mom's house in his name. And so basically what we've decided between ourselves is whatever, you can have whatever from her, I'll have whatever from Dad, because my brother and my dad have no relationship. They've had no relationship for over 20 years. He said, I don't want anything from him. If you will deal with all that, I will deal with her, and we'll just do it that way. I said, it's fine by me. That works for me. That's very tidy. I like that. So I don't expect any problem from my brother, but maybe other people. I hope not. It's going to be enough of a mess to deal with. My dad is a bit of a hoarder. A little bit of a hoarder, and he has lots and lots of stuff, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with 99% of it. Oh my God. Every time I go up there, it's worse, and I just look at it going, oh my God, there's so much stuff here. Why do you have all this shit? I'm going to have to dispose of all this shit. Stop buying stuff. He goes to the junk iron place and he buys like scrap metal and he brings it home and he just dumps it. Like, what the hell are you doing? You don't need any more scrap metal. Stop it. Jesus. So that's just more shit I'm going to have to deal with. I don't know how the hell I got off on that. But yeah, so I will feel better. It will be like a weight lifted off of me to finally get the trust done, get everything transferred to the trust, get everything signed, everything finalized, blah, blah, blah. I will feel way better. And even if I don't get this insurance that I did the health exam for, it's fine. I mean, I do still have the other 2 policies. It's good enough for me, whatever. So I would like to get a little bit more for my kids, but if I don't, so be it. I mean, I tried. I can continue to try. I mean, I guess I'll keep trying, but if I don't get it, I'm not going to worry about it a whole lot because they'll have the other 2 policies, so it's better than nothing, and my other assets and stuff. So they'll be fine. I'm really just worried about them, while they're still so young because they're only 13 and 18. So I just want to make sure that they're going to be okay. They're taken care of and everything. So That's my biggest concern. But anyway, I need to get a shower and I got to go to bed. Got to go get my oil changed in the morning and do that. Get set up to do the sandwich video. I got to go buy some lettuce because I forgot the freaking lettuce. I always forget something every time I go shopping to buy for sandwich videos. I always forget at least one thing and I have to go back every damn time. And I tried making a list. I'm going to make a list. That way I won't forget anything. Well, that's great unless you forget to put something on the damn list, which I did, and I still had to go back. And that time I had already started setting everything up on the table before I realized what I had forgotten. And I had to put everything back in the refrigerator and then go to the store. This is stupid. So I'll get it done. But lots going on. I don't know how it's going to play out. I have no clue. Several of y'all said that if I had a Patreon, you would contribute to it. I actually have had a Patreon for years. I don't push it though. I really don't push it. It's in the description of my videos, but it's, I don't push it. I never have. I may start pushing it a little bit on my other channel, depending on how stuff goes with the ad revenue. I may start mentioning it, like just a little clip at the beginning of the video. If you want to contribute, I'll put it in a pinned comment or something. But yeah, I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Southern ASMR Sounds. And that's, I think it's like $2 a month. I don't do special videos and stuff for Patreon because I've always tried to keep all of my content free. And that's what I always tell people. Like, I put everything out there for free. If people feel so inclined to give me $1 or $2, that's awesome. I really do appreciate it, but you don't have to. I'm not going to get in your face about it or anything. But I do have one if you're interested. Yeah, it's just Patreon/Southern ASMR Sounds, I think. I think that's it. But yeah, I don't have tiers and shit. It's like $2, if you want to give me $2, that's cool. If not, that's okay too. I understand. But I might push it a little bit more on the other channel. Again, just depending on how the whole ad revenue thing plays out. I don't know. I just don't like to push it because I don't know. I don't like doing that. But we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, I got to get a shower and go to bed. But thank you so much for watching. I hope your week is going well. I just realized I have an injury on my finger. I have this one from nail polish the other day. I put a little Band-Aid on that. I got to put one on that too. I don't know what the hell that is. I noticed it earlier. Yeah, I don't know. But thank you so much for being here. I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to go do my stuff. And I hope you have a great day and the rest of your week. And I'll see you again soon.